It doesn't sound like I'm on.
No, you're on, but you're going in and out for some reason. Check.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you're good.
Good? All right. Pick Central today presented by Cars.com. Cars.com is a leading digital marketplace that connects car shoppers with their perfect car, celebrating 25 years of helping shoppers research, find inventory, finance, and sells cars. Wherever life takes you next and whoever you're looking to be, there is a car for that on Cars.com. Up to 50,000 cars are added daily to Cars.com. Shop over 2 million cars for 2 million possibilities. Go to Cars.com. Shout out to them for always being a sponsor of this show. And again, the easiest way to find cars is always to go there. Take the lazy way out and the more efficient and staying home and looking online on Cars.com. All right, we got Smitty. We got Big Ev, myself, and Clemmer. Duke's behind the glass. Rico is doing Surviving Barstool this week, so he will not be on the show this week.
Rico's not doing Surviving Barstool. Rico's doing Surviving.
Yeah, that's basically what this all it is. It's obviously not going to talk about it because it's already amazing. I'll tell you that. It's already amazing. I can't wait for it to come out. But today we are talking football. I thought it was a good slate yesterday. I thought it was good football. What do you think?
It was. I mean, yeah. It was.
Well, not you personally.
I didn't do. I actually didn't do horrible. I went like 500. I think. The Sunday night game, I was 500. Sunday night game brought me below 500. That was more. Honestly, I'm more just mad at myself for believing in the Cowboys when I knew they're frauds. They're the biggest. They're the fakest good team every year.
Let's start
always
there, yeah.
Always the fakest good team. They walk in there. I'm thinking, oh my god, like the spread's getting lower. Everyone's in the Niners. I'm out thinking it when the Niners have covered like a million spreads in a row. They've just been the most dominant team in the league by far this year. And Dallas comes to town and they just give them an ass whooping. I mean, Dak sucks.
Yes. So
They're going to win. They will win nothing of significance with Dak Prescott as their quarterback. Nothing.
I agree.
Nothing.
So I went through the same thing you did yesterday.
Nothing.
I was at home. I was like, all right, I kind of like the Cowboys. Like I feel like they could come out. And then I said, you know what? No, fuck that. I went with the Niners because you're so right. They have beaten the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots. As everyone on this show knows, as we're all fans of them, they all suck.
Horrible.
They are all bad football teams.
The Jets had a good win yesterday.
God. We'll talk. We'll get to it.
It did. I mean,
Yeah, we'll get.
We'll
sure,
get.
no, we'll get.
It was a good win, but let's. All right. Well, don't get me upset yet. The 49ers. I want everyone to stop saying. I think everyone has to stop saying that Brock Purdy, like anyone could be good. Brock Purdy's a fucking very good quarterback.
If the season ended today, I think Brock Purdy would win MVP.
Over McCaffrey?
Yeah. Some of the throws he was making last night, those weren't
That's
irrelevant throws.
what I'm talking about.
He's been doing it every single week this year.
Everyone's like, and including myself, like I do think, yes, it helps when you have the best players around you. He has an amazing offense. The system's great.
Best play caller.
Best play caller. The offensive line's great. Like he has all the tools, but he is making hard throws where it's like it's not just because he is. This team is. I don't see who could beat them. I can't. I know the Eagles are 5-0 as well. I seriously think that the 49ers. I can't wait to watch that game. It's good.
Yeah, it's gonna
we
be a
might as
great
well
game.
simulate to that. We might as well simulate to the NFC Championship game because it's them too.
Look, there's 6 teams that can win the Super Bowl this year, probably. 4, 5, 6. 49ers haven't played any of them. Cowboys are frauds. 49ers are great. They're doing their job. Everybody is happy. Everybody's healthy. Everybody is doing everything that they need to do to win. But the real test is going to be against the Eagles, the Bills, the Dolphins. Like the top tier teams. The
Yeah,
Chiefs.
I mean 100%. I mean
They might not face one in that really matters until the NFC Championship game.
Well, they have the Eagles in Week 13 in Philadelphia.
and they play the Bengals at home, which is like, and the Bengals. I'm not saying that they're a top team right now, but They really have a very favorable schedule.
Like, they are that much better than every other.
Well, that's what I was going
Close.
to say. I feel like it's not even like the schedule. Not even so much the schedule's favorable. It's just that they're just that
They're
good.
better, yeah.
When you just put them next to every team, you're just like, oh, like wash.
The Eagles are undefeated, but they very easily could have lost to Washington. They played a little better yesterday. The Bills already lost the game. Every other team. I mean, there's no other undefeated team in the league, right?
Bills lost twice.
Yeah, the Bills have lost twice. The 49ers aren't losing a game to an average team this year.
No.
They're just not.
So, and listen, I don't think
They're
the
just
Cowboys
too-
are even. I don't think the Cowboys are average.
No, they think
they're
the Cowboys
above.
are a little bit above
And
average,
also,
but
they make above average teams look like shit.
Oh, they
That's what
they absolutely do. Listen to these point totals the Niners have had. 30, 30, 30, 35, 42. They've never scored under 30 points in a game all season.
they've been a first half over machine.
Their foundation is just so strong. From the offensive line is elite. It's obviously their running backs elite, receivers are elite, quarterbacks playing really well. Then the other side, defensive line elite linebackers. Like they're just so strong. Like they have no weakness.
McCaffrey
At every level, they are strong.
McCaffrey didn't even have a good game last night, and think about the running backs
Well,
the years past that balled out. Mostert and Elijah Mitchell. Those were like RB1s in fantasy, like by
He
far.
he fumbled inside the 5 last night.
And George Kittle, that last night was George Kittle's only game. He had 3 touchdowns, but like he can just turn it on like
He also
that.
had 3 catches. It was all 3 catches for 3.
But next week it could be Debo having the same exact game. Next week could be Ayuk.
They just have so many weapons. They can they can basically pick which matchup is the best for us. Is it Kittle on a backer? Is it Ayuk on this corner? Is it McCaffrey out of the backfield? Is it in the run game? They're so strong. They can just pick out your weakness. Your weakness is gonna coincide with their strength. And they will just hit you there over and over and over again and just kill you.
On the opposite side, the Cowboys have no excuses. They have none. They have the weapons. They have a good offensive line. At times, not this year, but at times they had the best offensive line with Dak behind him. He's done nothing. I agree with you. I think he will never win anything of any significance. They'll make the playoffs.
Yep,
They'll maybe, it depends who they get matched up in the first.
Maybe win the first playoff game.
With last year they beat the Bucks when the Bucks were awful with Brady last year. Like he had made so many bad passes. He just, when the pressure's on, he beats up on bad teams. That's what he does. He beats them up and he'll have one good game and I was like, oh, Dak's good. 3 picks last night. He was awful. CeeDee Lamb, like he was nowhere to be found either. It just was.
They couldn't get the run game going at all.
Couldn't get Pollard
You want to know what
going.
it is more than I think even that Doc beats them on bad teams? It's their defense who beats them on bad teams.
Yeah, they have
a good, obviously Micah Parsons is great. DeMarcus Lawrence really good at the pass rush. They have good, like Van Der Esch, good linebacker. When they face an inept offense, they can just swallow you up. They can just chew you out. When they face competent offenses, they can't do that.
I was real quick, Dukes, really fast. Are we fast out today? Is Barstool Radio in here at 11:55?
Yeah, we're fast out today.
Okay, so we gotta go through these quick today because I want to get to baseball as well because there's a lot going on.
I do want to say the Niners are favored this week, playing in Cleveland, 4.5 points.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a tough. Like the Browns have a good defense, so I still think the 49ers will smoke.
As long as the 49ers are healthy, they will be in the NFC Championship game.
Yes,
I'm calling that.
Question for you guys.
Should be.
Do you guys think that there's a possibility that they go undefeated?
It's not an impossibility.
Honestly, like
They
I
have
don't
the Jaguars. They have the
I
Eagles.
don't think it's crazy to say that. Like
They enter the playoffs.
I wouldn't be
undefeated?
surprised if it happened. It's so hard to do.
So hard to
that,
do, but
like I wouldn't be like, oh, I didn't see that coming. It's like
I don't even think you want to. I almost think you hope you kind of just drop one at some point.
Yeah, like against the Rams or Seahawks,
Sometimes
a hard-fought game.
Honestly,
helps
the
sometimes.
Browns would be
It's in the
one like
division.
Browns can obviously they just show they can stuff the run so well. If the Browns they do have a great offensive line. If they were able to get some run game going, maybe they can just grind it out, like take the ball out of their offensive hands. Maybe
4.5 is against the 49ers right now. Kind of a Browns line.
everyone's going to be on the 49ers, but like last night was the same thing. Everyone's on 49ers. They cover the spread by 4 touchdowns.
Brock Purdy also, I saw this when people want to throw shade at him. But it's crazy when you go through their roster. I think in a couple of years, you're going to be like, how is this one team? They have like 2 number 1 wide
Yeah,
receivers.
they have
the
an
best running back in
insane-
NFL, arguably the best tight end in football. Like, they have everybody. Like you guys said, it's just crazy.
Dukes, you talked about this is the value of having a minimally paid quarterback that's performing at a MVP level.
You don't have to pay him for 2 more years now. Like
Ebo will love this because I'm throwing out a stat.
That's probably the most valuable thing to have in all of
Yes.
sports.
Yep.
And
No doubt.
his
no doubt.
EPA, like when he drops back, the expected points per drop back, he's basically averaging a half a point per drop back. That's like
insane.
0.15 greater than the next closest quarterback. It's
Yeah,
insane.
I just think that like at some point we have to stop saying anyone could be good on this team, which I do get. Like I do think a lot of quarterbacks would be good on this team, but he's making every single play that he needs to make.
Throws that he makes, and we saw it in week 1 at Pittsburgh. I didn't think he was capable of making some of those throws. He made it, and he's still making them in week 5.
I think his name has his Brock Purdy.
I want to rock and roll all night.
Dude,
he's doing well. We just got to give him his credit at some point, and I think it starts now.
He's the most impossible quarterback to rank, and to no fault of his own.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's I had this thought. I think the most impressive part about him is the way that he can read a defense. Like, there's definitely more talented quarterbacks per se. Like Aaron Rodgers had probably better arm talent than Brady, but the way that like quarterbacks way more than just throwing the football.
Yeah, 100%.
And we've said it before, man. If he was just taken one pick before Mr. Irrelevant or went undrafted, it'd be a completely different story. The fact that he's Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, it's just going to always stick with them.
Not just stick with him. It's the story, man.
Yeah.
It's the story.
All right, let's go through Jaguars Bills was at 9:30 on Sunday. If the Jaguars just they should stay in London. They should never leave. They should not go to Jacksonville. They are the best team. They might be better than the 49ers in London. That's how the Jaguars don't lose in London. Don't bet against the Jaguars in London.
The Jags and the under are like free money in London.
Did you see
It
that?
just hits every time.
Last year, I think they were. I could be completely wrong on the record, but they were like 2-5 when they went to London, and then they went to London, and then they went on a fucking streak after that. They're like went to London, won that game, and then they just kept winning after that. They are built for London, and the Bills showed that they were They looked slow. They looked slow coming out. They just didn't look ready, and that's. Time change is a different. It hurts you.
Listen to us talk about this game last week. I think we handicapped it perfectly.
No, literally, I was literally going to give
Absolutely handicapped.
I was going to give Smitty credit because Smitty kept me accountable where I was starting to fall in the trap of the Bills look so great. They covered for me 3 games in a row. You know how you get it as a gambler, they cover for you again. You're like, let me go back to the well. Yeah. And I had such an epiphany moment that Smitty was like, hold on a second. He was like, think about this. And I had that moment of like, no team is as good as you think they are always. Boom, Bills.
Bills coming off a huge win at home.
Win against Miami. They've blown out 3 teams in a row.
They got to travel to London.
They got to go to London. The Jags have like subpar.
I'm also pretty sure they went to London like late. Like it was like Thursday or something. It wasn't like they went. I heard a story that they went later than they should have.
Usually they go for like almost the whole week.
Should have
like
went
Monday.
Should be fucking. They should have left it right after the game on Sunday.
And the Jags had already been there. Like this was their second full week there. Obviously now Lawrence has been there like he goes every year of his career at least like once or twice. I think it's just as a team making that trip over and over definitely helps.
Yeah,
they just played really well.
The Bills,
100%. That's a huge. I mean, people talk about going West Coast to East. I mean, Mango will talk about how going West Coast to East Coast fucked you up.
Yeah,
like, it's another 5 hours east.
Yeah,
they got to acclimate for a full 2 weeks. By the time they played the game, they'd been there 2 weeks.
Huge.
But yeah, this game told me nothing about the Bills. The Bills are fine. They'll be good. I think they were sluggish because of that travel. They also were in the they could have won that game. They still
it was crazy how much the Jags if you watched the game, the Jags dominated the game from the start to the very end, and then all of a sudden they put together that 45-second touchdown drive.
Yep.
And you're like, holy shit, are they about to do this?
Yeah.
Right now?
Jags could have blew it away a lot earlier. Trevor Lawrence turned it over in the red zone.
I fucking took them live. Bills plus 3.5, and they missed the 2-point conversion.
Diggs is emotional.
So I wrote a blog. That's what I wanted to talk about. I wrote a blog, and I said, "Shocker, Diggs is freaking out on the sideline again." And everyone's like, "Oh, sorry." He's like cares about the game. He's emotional. When Odell did this, it was like the biggest story of all. And I know he went a little further, but this is not the first time Stefon Diggs is mad. Last week, you guys won 70-20, or whatever it was. 70, not 70, whatever it was.
48-20.
48-20, and he got a lot of the. He scored a touchdown in London. Not like you have to stop. It's not about you. You have to stop showing up your quarterback when also your quarterback is playing it's Josh Allen. It's not like you have fucking Daniel Jones, honestly, right now, or like someone that's not playing well. I think showing him up is a bad look like that.
So I know Smitty can attest to this. I know A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts has had a little thing like this, and they've said, like, I'm pretty sure A.J. Brown is like the godfather of his kid or vice versa, whatever, one of them. I think people see this and they don't realize how normal it is. And just real quick to go back on the Odell thing, I think the thing with Odell was he was a rookie and the team was bad. Where Diggs is like an established veteran.
He does it all. He does it a lot.
But he
wide receiver.
But he gets like
Yeah,
feisty.
but it's like
feisty. I don't think it's ever been like even this offseason. Think about how much drama got made into this offseason, and literally nothing's wrong.
And it's one thing.
We're acting like he wanted to get.
But the thing is, we
were getting excited as Giants fans, like they were going to trade him.
they're
Like all
still
these things.
professionals. Like he's still going to do his job well.
He loves Diggs.
Yeah.
They just get mad. Like when you compete at that level, you're just going to get mad at each other sometimes. Like I'm sure they've yelled at each other a million times.
Can you agree?
It's not really a big deal.
It's a big difference if it's done on the sideline in the moment or if it's done through the press or some sort of like malevolent means.
But it wasn't at Josh Allen. He like was looking at the play and then just smashes it after, where it's like, and Josh Allen literally looks at him like this. Like it's Josh Allen's not doing it. He's not doing it all the time. You have to look at it that way too, where it's like you're starting a story for no reason to do that. That's putting more. I get you get frustrated. I get that.
You're on the sidelines.
It happens once in a while, but this happens a lot.
That's the way he is.
But
it's like relax a let I get it. Don't have to smash it.
But if it's not causing a problem with Josh Allen,
I mean, it kind of is. They're not getting over the hump, are they?
I don't think that's a dig Josh Allen.
Yeah, but that's not like.
How do you? We also don't know what's going on with them. You have no idea.
We don't, but we also don't. We don't have any proof that it's a problem.
I just think
it's like
there's no reason.
There's been no problem in the field.
You can do it, but not all the time. Is what I'm saying. You're making it about yourself all the time.
Hey,
to me, that's like a competitive. I don't think it's making it about himself.
That's what everyone says.
Okay, did you have a problem? Do you have a problem with Jamar Chase saying I'm always fucking open?
Yeah, I did. I think that's crazy.
I think that's worse than what Diggs.
No, it's not
doing.
competitor. You're also like being in the media, talking to the media about your quarterback. It shows up your quarterback.
That's worse. That's premeditated.
That's not competitive. Competitive is fucking.
But I still don't think it's
out like
extreme.
You can be a competitor without showing up somebody. That's a fact.
But I don't think like in a angry moment when like the stakes are as high as they are when you're playing at the highest level, all these people watching, whatever, it's your life. I just think like listen, we saw Dable the other day. Like he showed like Daniel Jones the play and just like
that's a coach.
The
coach can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, that was worse.
Yeah.
That was showing up.
Worse.
I think that is.
But
I don't think that is.
So who's more?
That was so much worse.
All right, well,
Coach needs to be
who's more
like a little
who's
more
more valuable to the team? Your number one wide receiver, or your head coach in the Bills circumstance.
I mean, that's the total. What do you mean?
I mean, who's more valuable to the team?
Technically, it's a fucking wide receiver.
Of course it is. He's definitely more valuable.
But not really, though. Your team, head coach makes a big difference.
He makes three times as much money.
Yeah, but head coach still makes a big difference.
Yeah,
for sure. But I'm just saying, who is more like?
Yeah, I answer. But what's the?
I just think like so it's the same. Like I'm saying, if the wide receiver can do it, the coach can do it.
I don't think that's.
It's a moment of frustration where he saw he was open, he didn't hit him, and he's like, "Fuck."
It's also a difference. We talk about circumstances. The Giants are they're awful, and the Bills are completely fine. They're a very good team.
It's in the heat of a game. Like I just think shit like that's gonna happen.
You said Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase, that's showing up your quarterback. Being like, I'm wide fucking open all the time.
Asked directly.
Yeah, and just be like, listen, we got to figure it out. But that's being a professional. That's being, hey, Joe Burrow, you suck. You should be finding
Chase threw Burrow under the bus there.
That's not saying that.
Yes, it is.
But also, like, they're boys. Like, they play together
that's
forever.
Fine. Okay, that's fine. But just telling the media I'm wide open all the time, and then everyone's like, oh, Joe Burrow can't do that.
Then what happened next game? Boom.
They played the fucking Cardinals.
But how well do the Cardinals have to play before they're just a decent team? Like, why is everything?
I don't
they're 1-4.
Yeah, they're kind
they're not a decent.
I mean, they should have beat us. They smashed.
We suck.
They smashed the Cowboys.
If you're trying to say they're a competitive team,
like they're
we're doing it not that bad right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they're like so just because they did against the Cardinals, it doesn't count.
No, it counts.
That's what you just said.
No, it counts, but it's not that impressive. It's fucking the Cardinals.
I mean,
14 catches.
Like,
14
what are you
catches.
talking? Yeah, no, he played great.
It's only impressive unless it's against the 49ers. Like, what is it?
No, what are you talking about? I'm just saying that like when you play a worse team, you talk about when they played a worse team. If they did it against one of the best cornerbacks in the league, like, oh, if they did it against the Eagles, it'd be like, okay, that's impressive.
He got 19 targets.
He did great. He did great. But I'm just saying,
that's
so
what
you're
I'm saying.
talking about two different things. You're taking a situation where I'm saying showing up your quarterback is bullshit, and you're saying you play great the next game. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about there's no reason to show up your quarterback.
I didn't think him saying that was like showing up the quarterback. I didn't take it that way.
Do you guys really quick, just last thing with this, do you guys think that Diggs being emotional could be a problem in the future in the locker room? Like, that's where I stand. I don't think,
Sure. I mean,
I don't
anything
think
could be
yesterday was the
anything could
problem.
be
I don't think we
anything
can
could be a
answer
problem
that
down the road.
I'm saying
completely,
if
but-
the wheels start to fall off in the Bills locker room, having someone as prominent to the offense like Diggs being an emotional player could cause.
That's fair. I mean, they lose 3 in a row, and
Right,
and
that's-
Diggs
that's
have
where I
10
stand.
syndrome. That's a problem.
Right, when the wheels start to turn and someone like Diggs is in the locker room, I could see that being a big
Yeah, of course it could.
Not yesterday per se.
Oh, I don't think it was a problem yet, but I'm saying that's what I'm saying. It could cause it where it's like being emotional can hurt a team sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just move on because we got a lot more to talk about. I'm a Colts fan. I love the Colts.
Anthony
Me
Richardson
too.
out
And
for 6
Richardson
weeks
out for a
while.
while, but Gardner Minshew's just a guy you plug
solid.
in
What
What was the
anywhere.
exact injury with Richardson?
AC
Yeah,
joint.
his
He's
shoulder.
going to be out like a month.
Yeah, that shoulder was hanging.
That's the.
I don't think people realize how hard it is what Gardner Minshew comes into that game. You're cold, and then you just beat the Titans.
Yeah,
That's
he's a perfect backup quarterback.
He's if you want a backup quarterback, it's him.
Yep.
That's just like what you want. But good for him. I'm the Titans are just I stay away from them.
They are the Colts are extremely well coached.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
But do you guys agree with the Titans where it's like, bro, I don't know what the fuck. I can't
come-down game.
figure them out at all.
I feel like I feel like I weirdly have like kind of figured them out. Like I feel like I've been good at zigging when they zig and zag when they zag. Like I feel like their lines almost just tell you like what team's gonna show up. I don't know.
Yeah, I know
I've
what
just
you
kind of had this like I've this good just feel on them. Like last week was the most obvious. Like they're gonna. I mean, hindsight's 20/20, but I did bet on it, so I'll take some credit. Like the Bengals, come off, they finally win, boom, smash them. Like then they have it's. I feel like whenever they have a big game, just like fade them the next week. It feels like they just always kind of up down.
DeAndre Hopkins.
They're so
actually
dependent on the
played
run
well,
game.
But Henry it hasn't been. Has he? I could be wrong, and I'm not totally on it, but I haven't seen him like put up like that big of numbers this year.
I think he had 1 or 2 good games. It's kind of been that like when they can establish the run, they played well, and like yesterday they couldn't, and they lose
Yeah, I mean DeAndre Hopkins played great yesterday.
really well.
Like he
Very
had
well.
over 100 yards, like killed it.
I think honestly, just real quick, just on the Richardson injury too. It's so weird. They're in this weird spot where it's like he's been playing so well, but then when the backup comes in, they just like they don't really skip a beat at the same time.
Yeah.
They play just as obviously Richardson's much more dynamic, but I think what he maybe what Minshew maybe lacks in the dynamicness, maybe like a hair more accurate, a little more pocket presence. And they clearly like him because they play for him. Like nothing changes when he
His
plays.
locker room after he was.
They definitely like him for sure.
Yeah.
Marty, also the Titans have been playing a rookie running back. Like he's been getting some
Yeah,
carries.
Spears has played well.
More so than years past, where like Derrick Henry would get every
Every
single
single
carry.
one, yeah.
I noticed that yesterday. He's getting more carries, like not just like third down. Like Spears, he's the kid from Tulane, who was like a stud last year, stud running back at Tulane when they beat USC.
When I think of Titans Colts, I think like they're the same team. I just do. I know it might not be right. I just think they're.
I think they were. I think that the Colts are starting to get more.
Yeah, with Richardson,
Their quarterback play, I believe, is now
Yes.
above the Titans quarterback play.
And Jonathan Taylor's back.
Well, Zach Moss was
Oh,
way better.
I want to talk about that too. That was the irony of signing a high-paid NFL running back. The irony. They finally give this guy the money, and the first week they give him the money, backup running back, 165 yards and a touchdown.
He was
unbelievable, unbelievable.
And like also, I
He's
don't
been running well for them all year.
Absolutely,
He's been
absolutely, absolutely.
But like also, like if you're a fantasy guy, like that's also a guy you kind of sit this week because it's like Jonathan.
Like, oh, he
Taylor's
got-
playing.
like, he got
I had no
paid.
running backs left, so I had to play him, and I was like, thank God, he had like 40 points. It was
He had a 50-yard touchdown. I think he had almost just under 200 all-purpose yards.
Yeah.
but I think having Taylor makes Moss better.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, it will.
But it's just the iron. But like when he's in the game, like it's not like having. Listen, I think at this point in the NFL, you need like 2 good backs if you want a good like running game. But they weren't like on the field together. Like Zach Moss is in like a single back set.
Yeah.
And busting like a 50-yard touchdown run, which the offensive line's playing very well as well. But I just thought it was just so ironic. You pay this guy all this money, and then the second you pay him money, like the back that you had for like a 7th-round pick is running for 150 plus yards.
Next, we'll get past this quick. Dukes, your team's done. 34-0 Saints. It was it was embarrassing. I do want to say one thing. It's not. This is where I always don't think it's easy to blame Mac. Mac is not good. I don't think he's great.
Right.
But again, it's not all his fault. They have nobody there.
I'll be quick and blunt. I think that he's not good enough to make this team good.
Yeah.
He's a problem. He's not the problem.
I think that if you
situations
put some
matter.
weapons,
The Patriots just like it's not like the Jets last year, in my opinion, where it's like, wow, we're like a quarterback away and we could be pretty good. Everybody sucks.
you have the same problem with the Giants right now. Is that you have all number 3 receivers. You have no receivers.
Offensive line sucks. Receiver
Offensive
sucks.
not
Quarterback
good.
sucks.
So
running
what
backs
is
doing
what
shit.
is the problem, Dukes? Like you said, is
Everything.
I think Bill the GM's evaluation of offensive talent is so bad.
yeah, that's fair.
And it's so outdated. I think that still with his defense, yesterday wasn't a great showing, but we also lost our 2 best players. So, but yeah, the Patriots are in a dumpster fire. And I said this, my only take on it really is in his first major test post Brady to build up your team with the cap space, to draft offensive talent, to build a Super Bowl contender, he failed tremendously. And the Patriots have been lucky for 20 years, and the ball's bounced their way a couple times. It hasn't bounced their way other times. The past couple years, we've been unlucky in certain situations where ball bounces our way. Maybe it's a different narrative, but it hasn't been the narrative that he wants. And yeah, Bill's on the hot seat.
It's tough. We've never seen in 20-plus years them get embarrassed one week and then get embarrassed the next week.
Yeah.
That's never happened. That's why I loaded up on the Patriots. I didn't think it could
bet
happen on home against the
Patriots
Saints
too.
team that are like,
I stayed away for that reason. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen
Listen,
here.
they had a guy who's the best quarterback of all time, and let's face it, Gronkowski, great. The rest of his teams were not elite.
Yeah, but even Matt Castle coming in could win games. Mac Jones the last 2 years. This wasn't an issue the last 2 years.
No.
You don't get spanked and then spanked again at home.
Well, what I was going to say is I think
It's a mediocre Saints team.
what I think the last few years they've been able to mask average quarterback play and average skill position with very good defense, good offensive line where they at least could run the ball. And I think they were able to mask some of their deficiencies with skill positions. With that, now the defense isn't that great. The offensive line is bad. It's went from good to just bad. So I think the quarterback plays average to below average at best. Offensive line is bad. Skill position is bad. Defense is average. Add that all.
I don't even know if they were really able to mask much, though. I mean, this is a team that's been.
Well, they made the playoffs. When they played real contenders, they got smoked. But they were But I'm saying there's a difference between
being average and being bad,
being 1-5, and being
4-4,
and being where they still would finish 9-7.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They were still. Now there's a bad football team.
And this is where I come in and I'm like, here's my Patriots delusion. Is I follow them week in, week out. I remember drives. I remember certain plays when you guys might have just been tuning in and being catch the box score. There was plays, drives that Mac was oh wow, is he gonna do this? And then fucked up shit happens. Ramondre Stevenson fumbling within the 10-yard line. He scores that touchdown. Patriots are in the playoffs. It's a completely different narrative. It's not the fact. The Patriots now suck. I'm dealing with this. I'm dealing with my emotions. I'm not in a happy space right now. I came into work on Monday, and that's really all I got. I'm a very sad, pathetic human being. So, Clemmer, as a Jets fan, I hope you can help me out during this time.
We'll pass. We'll go past this one
Also,
because
just a note: Pats have been outscored 72-3 since being the Jets.
Yeah,
And also, it's better just getting blown out than being delusional.
yeah, 100% is.
That's
you
what I've
don't want. You
realized.
don't want hope. Speaking of hope, where I think it's false hope, but the Steelers beat the Ravens 17-10.
A monster magnificent parlay.
the only loss I had all day. I went 5-1.
No shit. That's what happens when you.
That's what happens. You go 5-1. That doesn't. I mean, I'm 13-6 this month. So what else you got to say, Smitty?
You're 13-6 betting minus 300s.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing that.
You're 3. Wait, does your are you counting your parlay?
There's one bet.
You're not counting this. You went 3-1.
He's not doing the Frank.
Thank God.
Wait.
That was what the tank
You said
used
you
to
went
do.
5-1 on your parlay yesterday. Did I
No.
get that right?
No.
No. I went 5-1 yesterday in my picks.
Okay, that's all.
All right.
Only pick that I lost was the Monster Money Line Parlay, which lost as a one game, which was that was the big game. Though.
Couple things with this game.
Clarification.
Lamar Jackson, he's got nobody besides Zay Flowers is good. Odell Beckham's not anything what he's ever been, and he's got who dropped the touchdown?
Bateman did.
Bateman.
Nelson Aguilar dropping passes.
Bateman dropped
Aguilar.
one. Bateman dropped one that was like hit him square in his hands, like right in front of his face.
Listen, Lamar. I don't think Lamar has nobody to help. I think the Ravens' defense is good. The Steelers' defense is incredible.
Yeah, that was
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt is holy shit. Did you see him punch Zay Flowers in the face? It was awesome. Like he literally just loaded up and punched him because he was going for the ball, but hit him in the face. Also very funny. Kenny Pickett throws it to Pickens for a touchdown. Their whole offensive coordinators, all the offensive minds go nuts. Canada does nothing. You know what that tells you? Kenny Pickett audible his Canada's play, touchdown. That's literally what 100% happened.
Probably
100% what happened. I think Canada's in obviously a lot of hot water. I also think that the Steelers can win games because of their defense, but their offense is, oh my God. That was the most frustrating game to watch with both teams. There's just nothing happening.
They should honestly just air it out to Pickens every play.
Well,
that's
might have
what
a better
they should
chance.
do.
Well, I was gonna say that when they started doing that, and like in the second half, it was working a lot. So that's where I was really obviously he's been made a lot about Canada, how bad he's been as an offensive play caller, but that was the moment where I was really having the moment I was like, how bad is he really? Because the second they started, like, it was Pickens catch, hit him over the top for a touchdown. Like they finally were moving the ball. I think it almost felt like Pickett was having like a little feels moment where he's like, I feel free. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like he finally was like, all right, let me throw these back shoulder fades that he's good at. He throws a good ball. Like I feel like he was kind of almost like they're making him do things he doesn't want to do that he's not good at. I think their other biggest problem is too, they really don't run the ball very well.
No.
Which is a big problem for them because they're like the defense run the ball. That's Steeler football, and they just don't have that right now.
Amazing that Najee Harris came in as like the first every down back in a while drafted, and he's just like kind of fell.
And
Jalen Warren is like
better.
arguably better.
Yeah.
He
Oh, I don't
was
even
yesterday anyway.
I don't even think
Definitely better
anyone's
pass
arguing.
catching, obviously. He's better, like
I said,
faster,
I don't think
shiftier.
anyone's arguing. I think it's like he's just better.
I think he's better. He's definitely better built for this offensive line because if they were a little more like north-south, maybe Najee would fit better, but they just don't block well. They need like a guy that can break some tackles.
Even his rookie year, he just
outside.
seems like he just gets 2.5 yards a pop.
Yeah.
See, he's used
nothing's broken.
He's a big, strong guy. I mean, in college, he used to like that big Bam offensive line, just like not get hit for like 3 yards, fall forward. That's how you pick up 5.
Yeah.
Boom, 5, just up and down the field.
I just think that the Steelers aren't. I don't think the Steelers are that team. I think that was a good win by them pulling it out. I think the Ravens are still better than them, but I don't know. I just don't see their offense ever like beating any team.
They're not real.
Jerry was right.
I wouldn't be like shocked if they like. Oh my bad.
Did you guys see Jerry was right? Jerry like told Compton like Lamar sucks against the Steelers,
Yeah, I mean,
and Jerry's in the
he
cave saying like
does.
suck my
Does-
dick.
no,
Will.
yeah,
If you look at the numbers, like Lamar has struggled with
Yeah.
pretty much every time they played.
But I think the Ravens are still more for real than the Steelers.
I would trust.
The Ravens are a better team than the Steelers.
I would trust the Ravens to go beat a good team in the playoffs as opposed to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next game.
Oh, I just want to say, I don't know if Will Compton, maybe this is like NFL player brain, but I think it was like the Vikings had like a 3rd and 1 with no timeouts, with like 70 yards to go, and he's like, oh look, they still have a chance. Meanwhile, every NFL fan watches that game and like, no, the Vikings have 0 chance of winning this game. They have like 70 yards.
Can we talk about that game and how not really any real faults of their own? The NFL is, in my opinion, is making the Chiefs like a villain.
It's because
Especially with the refs.
there's a lot of clips coming out of that play where the Vikings had the Chiefs might have had 3 penalties on the play.
Yeah.
And they're just making everyone hate the Chiefs. You're right. They really are.
Like, they don't need the help.
No, they win enough.
They don't.
They don't. I agree. There are some. I hate doing this because it's like hindsight, but that was some blatant penalties on that play.
I was pissed. I had the Vikings, so I'm like praying for them to go tie the game and cover.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker takes his helmet off. He says, "Put your helmet back on."
Put it back on.
Which, to his defense, I think technically the 4th down play had already happened. So they were saying on the broadcast it potentially would have just been like after the change of possession. But still, there was many other things you could point to. Of just
There was a pass interference call on the one.
only
It was like
with the
catch in the
helmet
first
thing.
half where he was like levitating and went out of bounds.
The helmet thing, I wanted to say that too because I thought that's the only one I thought people were reaching a little bit because they did say put it out on. They should have flagged him, but TJ Watt did the same thing, and after the 4th down, and then they flagged him, but nothing really.
Well, his was in like
Get the
his was
ball back.
T.J. Watts was in like deep celebration in that like him making that play like, and at that point like should have ended the game. It
Yeah.
was crazy what
You know,
down there.
the fact that
And it
Ravens
didn't end the
that more was
but yeah.
crazy.
Thank God for the Steelers they held on to that, but. I thought it was crazy. He pulls the helmet off blatantly, like on the. But he's in the end zone, looking the ref face to face.
And he's like,
and he's
"Put
just, just put it back on, guy.
There was hands.
That should have been immediate. Boop.
There was hands to the face on that fourth down play. I think
Yes,
it was. There
yes.
was pass interference in the fourth down play. It was a lot. But you're right, Smitty. It's weird. Like they really don't need help getting more hate, and it's concerning every week. Jets last week, this week Vikings, not great.
When you're also coming from someone who's gotten calls in the past 20 years, when you are the best team in the league,
Who got
Patriots.
calls? Oh, okay.
When you're the best team and there's one controversial call, everyone's always like, well, the refs are always on your side. So I always thought it was kind of bullshit with the Chiefs. I was like kind of on the Chiefs side.
One score games and those calls are that obvious.
Smitty, that's where I was coming in.
Yeah.
I go, yesterday I've never seen something so blatant.
Yeah, no, it was pretty bad. But again, it doesn't mean that the Chiefs should have lost, but it was at that point, like you don't know that could have definitely changed the entire game. But yeah, I agree, it's pretty bad. Next game, Desmond Ridder might be the best home quarterback of all time. He might be the worst quarterback of all time away and the best quarterback of all time home.
He legitimately played good. Like it wasn't like they
Played well.
He played like he
very
played
well.
Specifically.
He played well. Stroud's great, and he's a great quarterback. You could tell that he is by far the best.
Well, Richardson, you mean like,
No, I think he's still. I think
you'd rather the guy that just hasn't had 3 injuries in the first.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. No,
Not that Richardson's talented as hell. I'm not taking anything away, but I think if you were to choose one, I think it'd be
right now. I also
Stroud should have been the number 1 overall pick. If the Panthers are picking between Young and Stroud,
Oh yeah.
They could do a
can't
do-over.
really-
and flip it.
Listen, I don't think the Panthers are not like he doesn't have much help, but like also the Texans, he's has a backup line. Like he has a lot.
that's not a knock on Stroud. Stroud can still be a very good, great quarterback.
No, I'm sorry.
Or no, not Stroud. Young.
He played better.
Stroud's already great.
Yeah, no, Stroud's
Incredible
great.
how good he is.
With Stroud, people, it's when you play good, they don't give you the credit for like. If you look at his receiving core before the year, you'd be like Nico Collins. Like,
Yeah, right.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Or like he think when you have a good quarterback, you can make receivers look. I think it's both. I think Nico Collins is a good player, but it helps having a good quarterback. Like you can, it's a little hand in hand thing going on.
And like
then Robert Woods is a good veteran slot receiver.
that's what I was trying to go back with before. Like you say Nico Collins, and it's like, well, that
he's having a big ass year.
But it's like
having
no,
a big
he's
year.
great because Stroud's making him good. But Ridder, 28-37, 329 yards and a touchdown. Like that's a very good game. And he can't he made that play like a drive at the end, right? To win.
Yeah,
Like, they were down.
Stroud drove down with the Texans. They kept like having these good drives, and they just kept settling for field goal like 4 times. Then finally Stroud drives them all the way down. They score with like a minute 50 left.
Did anyone else have the
Then-
Falcons -2.5?
I stayed away from that game.
I had Texans plus 2.5. Thank God.
I had Falcons
they covered at
-2.5,
least.
and I was like, that's just the fucking
tough.
worst. Quick, we could go past this. The Lions are for real. They're a
dominant.
very, very good team. They beat the shit out of the Panthers. Panthers suck, so it's like whatever, but still, the Lions are very good.
Are we ready to? I want to say this. I want to ask this to everyone. Are we ready to put the Lions officially with the upper echelon in the NFC? Like, are we willing to put them with the Niners and the Eagles?
They had
Are we ready to put
You
them
think they
there?
could win a Super
The
Bowl?
next tier.
Yeah.
Because I think they're playing their way where I think they're
they're
at least
close.
worth mentioning. I think they're really close. A couple more good outings. Maybe they have to play one of these teams, get a win over them.
Yeah, see,
Because they look, I mean, they've been kicking the shit out of some teams. They already beat Kansas City in Kansas City. They laid 1 egg against Seattle. Seattle's pretty solid at least.
Yeah.
They look good, man. They've been dominating teams.
I think it's hard. It's hard to have them there, though. I think they're that next tier below.
I think they're right there. I think they need one more prove-it game or a run in the playoffs.
Like after the Cowboys, are we ready to say they're 3 over the Cowboys?
What would be the line?
I know it's easy this week.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Good and
Yes.
bad performance. I know it's easy.
I
after
actually-
Well, okay, what would their line be right now if they went into San Francisco?
I think that San Francisco's kryptonite.
Really?
Yes, I
do
do, because
too.
their run defense is so good. I don't know if you could stop McCaffrey, but if you can just slow him down and slow down that run game, and you really force Purdy, like when you don't have the run game with San Francisco, how do they look as a pass-first offense? We haven't seen it yet. So I do think that the Lions 49ers game is the most intriguing for me in the NFC.
I know they play the Panthers, but like even like St. Brown didn't play. and they scored 40.
They
Yeah.
smoked them.
Yeah.
And Gibbs
Blew 'em-
didn't
blew
play.
'em
Gibbs
out.
did, yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say too.
Montgomery's fucking good.
The biggest difference, Gibbs didn't play either. Biggest difference from last year. I think their defense is real this year. Last year, their defense they had a good offense, bad defense. Now I think they have a really good offense and a solid defense.
If someone asks you, can the Lions win the Super Bowl? Are you saying yes?
I'm starting to believe in them more and more.
But not yet.
I'm like really close to saying yes.
That's a
I'm,
load. That's
right
a
on the
loaded question,
doorstep.
though. Like, can they? Yeah.
No, we're not. No, it's like. I don't think it is a loaded question, to be honest. Like, obviously, yes, everyone can technically win it, but I do think I don't think that they're on the level of the Eagles and the 49ers.
Unless they get some way somehow home field advantage, I do not think they can win.
I'm reading out the stat here. Top 3 rushing defenses in the NFL. Eagles 1,
Yeah.
San Fran 2, Detroit 3, Cleveland 4.
Oh, wow. Top 3 all NFC teams.
Right.
Quick, another game. Giants, Dolphins. I mean, the Giants suck.
Horrible.
Dolphins are the fastest team in America.
They might have the 3 fastest
Scary team.
with Achane now.
Did you see
They might
that?
have the 3 fastest guys in the league on their
There's a
team.
clip.
Dude, his stats, every week he's averaging 15 yards a carry.
And also, him and Mostert are getting this. He got 11 carries. Mostert got 10. Like, it's not like he's out getting him a lot.
11 for 151.
Insane. He's the fastest. And the funny thing is,
76-yarder. It literally looked like it was like Tecmo Bowl.
yes.
Like he was like.
Did you guys see the
bang,
stat?
off the sideline?
His
Gone.
yards per carry
Untouched.
is 13.8
Yeah.
per touch. He's averaging more than a first down every time he
He
touches the
also,
ball.
there's a clip that Tyreek Hill was like, who's the fastest on the team? And he goes, HN's like 3rd. And he's like, there's a guy on a practice squad who is like the fastest guy in the world. And they showed him, he's fucking, and there's a small white guy who's the fastest guy of all time. I've never seen, he's like, even Tyreek Hill's like, yeah, he's fast for me. I don't ask him for a race. Like, it's crazy. The Dolphins are very good. They're a fun
Like
team
you
to
saw,
watch.
you saw watch like the one play we decided to send pressure. Like, oh, let's go our 6th-round rookie 1-on-1 with Tyreek Hill. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah, it's like
He must have been licking his chops. Like, looked into it like, you know what to do. Didn't put a move on him. Just went straight down the field.
You know what?
Beat him by
though?
10 yards. Just floated in his arms. Touchdown.
Giants, good for them. They kept it close for a
It's
second.
been 5 weeks.
They had a chance.
14-10.
They had a chance to cover at the end, which came with a 100-yard pick six on a batted ball. That was the reason it even was like sort of a game at one point.
It's been 5 weeks, and we haven't once heard an announcer say, "Touchdown Giants! They take the lead."
No, I mean, also this game was like.
And it's gonna be 6 weeks because we play the Bills next week.
But the offensive line is seriously. Daniel Jones is going to get down.
No, it truly.
He's gonna die.
Someone's
What happened to Jones?
his neck.
He should be fine.
He
There.
said he's fine. I mean, it's crazy saying this of how. I saw someone else said this, and I kind of agree with them watching at least like this season, especially with Andrew Thomas being out besides the first game. The line has been in shambles for legitimately a decade. It's just the worst. Because there was
close.
with Gettleman, there were points in time where I was like, it can't get worse. And the line, I think, without Andrew Thomas, is now worse.
Who was the guy we ran out? He was a lawn chair. He was the worst offensive lineman.
Eric Flowers.
Eric Flowers.
Well, he was a
little-
first-round pick.
No, I know, but we're
So is
saying
Evan Neal.
he was. Yeah, Evan
He was
Neal's
awful.
Also, Evan Neal's.
Evan
also
Neal
awful.
is like maybe worse. I think Evan Neal's worse than
We
Eric
have the
Flowers.
worst offensive line scouting department in the world.
Besides Andrew Thomas.
Yeah. That's but like Neal and Flowers both first round picks.
Yeah, Evan
They were
Neal, you see-
they were.
I'm saying they're still first round.
Well,
picks.
it's funny because Neal and Thomas were drafted by the same guy.
Yeah.
Flowers is like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't even have the.
No. Andrew Thomas was a Gettleman pick. Neal was Shane.
Did Gettleman pick Thomas?
Yeah.
Hold on. I
Yeah,
guess
no,
he
he
did.
get-
I guess
yeah,
in theory he did.
While you guys were thinking, did you guys see Ebo pointed this out in our gambling group chat that like Sam Howell and the Washington are gonna like smash the sacks allowed record?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Smash.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
they're gonna
Are the
smash.
Giants not close?
They are.
They are.
Must be very
I think the Giants are going to break it too, but the Sam Howell is like 20 more somehow.
Yeah.
Giants had
NFC
11 last
East.
week and it's 6 this week. Like it was brutal.
17 in 2 weeks. 17.
You're gonna kill a man. That's manslaughter.
Yeah, that's where it's like, again, that's
Not
where
even manslaughter. That's probably first-degree murder.
like, again, he's not the
You
best.
know it's premeditated.
Yeah, listen, I'm not
He's gonna die.
giving him excuses, but like same with Mac Jones, it's also not completely their fault. They're not playing well.
Now
Not giving it, but they're not playing.
The Giants and Patriots are in kind of a similar.
It's very similar.
You look
Like,
at-
the quarterback
you look at
plays
the
bad,
Giants-
but like the line is bad. Like the receivers aren't great. Like everything kind of
You,
just bad.
you look at the Giants' schedule. It's like not a win there.
It's
But
very.
we've also, our schedule to start has been tough.
Also, get us
Like,
out.
We've had to play the Cowboys.
But even
Dolphins,
you guys
Niners.
against the Commanders, it's like,
We could beat them.
eh.
We could beat them.
Not
I
right
have a
now.
quick question.
They
for you
just
guys.
lost to the Bears. The
By
Bears.
20.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you guys. Do you think they're? Cause I had to start with the Patriots because like this is where I'm like, all right, I don't think Mac is the problem. I think he's a problem. I don't think there's many quarterbacks that can make the Giants or Patriots look good.
No, I really don't. Either.
Like I thought of like 3, and I thought they're very similar situations.
Yeah, I really don't think they can. Let's keep going quick. Bengals, we talked about it a little bit. Jamar Chase had about 14,000 catches. 34-20. Are the Bengals like that?
Talk about where the Bengals by. Is Joe Burrow fine? That's what. That's
No, that's what I was going to talk about. I think he's completely fine. I saw
I
a lot of runs that he looked fine. He looked like old Joe Burrow. I feel like I don't think we can blame this calf anymore. I think it's Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow.
Wasn't on the injury report this week, so.
Yeah. So
It's
and
time to get healed up.
he made some great throws. Their defense showed up a little bit. Bengals are fine.
I think it was even though you were poo-pooing the Cardinals, I think it was a little bit you almost forgot game.
Yeah.
Because I think we talked about this last week. Now, if they beat Seattle this week at home, they're 3-3 headed to their bye.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're obviously
Completely fine.
which they've been 0-2 the last 3 years. They went 0-2, I think, and things have worked out.
Eagles, Rams. Rams are the
Rams are a borderline playoff team if Stafford's healthy.
with Nakua
In the
and
NFC.
Cooper Kupp. Like they got some things going on that offense, but Eagles the tush push. It's almost someone tweeted this. It's like
They're doing it almost too much.
it's almost insane how many situations they get into that it's always like 3rd and inches.
Like they did it on a 4th and 1 on the 10-yard line to put the game away, and it was a long one.
Yeah,
it was.
And I'm watching. I'm just like, it's just why? Just kick the field goal, go up by 7, the safe route. You're never going to be blamed for it.
They're addicted
There's a
to it.
chance. Exactly. Sirianni's addicted to the brotherly shove, and it's all fun and games except if somebody gets hurt when you unnecessarily do
That's
it.
what I was going to ask. Like Jason Kelsey, you better watch out. Like he's under 16 people.
Look, people are like
They're hitting
lying
him.
on piles
Yeah.
now, trying to stop it. Like it's become a thing to try to stop it.
What was he upset about? I didn't hear his quote.
He's upset about the red zone offense, which has not been
It's been bad.
fantastic. I wouldn't say bad; it's been average, but it needs to be
For them,
better.
I guess is bad.
And a couple of the holding things he was yelling at Stoutland about. I mean, but that's like yelling at.
No, him that
It's like going back and forth with
was
your dad on Little
was
League.
different.
Everything's fine.
That was him. That was different.
And the Eagles still, it was their most complete game they played, and they still aren't playing as well as they're capable of.
That's
like,
what
they're
I was
gonna be
gonna
fine.
say.
They're coming through a gauntlet coming up soon. They got the Jets, then I believe the Commanders again, and then it's like Cowboys, Dolphins, 49ers, Bills.
Yeah.
That's when we'll really see.
Yeah, that's
like,
the Giants
where-
already played that schedule. It's bad.
I will say
Also,
Hurts.
flex the Giants at a Sunday night.
By far,
somehow,
Hurts' best
please.
game this year too.
Hurts was minus 120 anytime touchdown paid off. That seems to be a pretty solid bet moving forward.
Especially
last
after
year,
they
too.
the Eagles are kings of the week after something doesn't happen, it happens exponentially. So like Hurts didn't have a touchdown last week.
Last week, right.
Boom, this week. Next week, Devontae Smith, down game. Expect for him to explode next week.
Let's go through quick. Jets Broncos was a shit bowl. The Jets have me rooting for them because the
Good.
way like Hackett, like I love that Hackett beat Sean Payton. Sean Payton's a fucking loser, and Hackett got good for him. He got the game ball. Zach Wilson played good enough.
Yep.
He played fine. The
Throws are pretty sharp. I was pretty encouraged. Obviously, it's the Broncos. So, but hey, they're 2-3. I don't know. I'm not feeling that down right now.
That's like you win, you get a little up, but like you have to. It is the Broncos.
It is the Broncos. We do have the Eagles next week, so
Yeah.
you can't get too up. But
They let Brees Hall get loose, baby.
hey,
Buck 77.
I'm just saying, Brees Hall. Yeah, I'm just
72
saying.
pop.
Let him loose.
Every time he plays, it seems like he breaks one for
No
like
pitch
30
count.
yards.
No more pitch count anymore.
I mean, what are they now?
Training wheels off the bike.
5-1 last year. 5
Yeah. So that's all the games that happened. We won't go too in depth of the game
7-4,
tonight. Real quick,
pretty
'cause I
solid.
want to do the other storylines, but I'm on Raiders today. I know Ev is.
I love the Raiders and the over.
I'm going the other way. So the Raiders have not had more than 19 points in a game all year. The team total is 23.5. So I'm taking the under there for them.
I'm taking the better team. I'm just going Packers. I got the over too. I'm going
I
Packers.
think Devontae Adams has his way with his old team too.
Why do you think the Raiders are going to score so many points today, Ev?
I think they're both going to score. I just don't see. They've left a lot of points on the board. Like last week, they should have scored way more than that. And that was with O'Connell at quarterback.
Yep.
Who I think is a significant downgrade from Jimmy G. I think the first few weeks, I'm starting to realize more and more. I don't know if the Packers are that good. Also, I think Jordan Love's okay. I think Dukes, who brought it up, and I've seen some more stats on it. He's been incredibly inaccurate.
Bad.
Like I think he basically leads all quarterbacks in uncatchable balls. Like when he misses bad. And I think the Raiders are they're like a decent team. I think the Raiders are the ultimate like pesky, like not that bad team.
Yes.
I think it's kind of where they land. Like they're not going to make the playoffs, but I think they're going to be competitive more than they're not. Like they had the really bad game against Buffalo, where I think they just walked into a buzzsaw after they lost to the Jets. I think they're decent. I don't think the Packers are that good.
Does Garoppolo finish this game? I mean, just coming off the concussion, I'm always worried about that.
I can't.
too.
I'm not. When I bet a game, I
think
can't
so.
bet on him. Maybe he's
I
playing.
think you have to think. You have to think
O'Connell's
about
not
it.
bad.
I don't think I can handicap him like being out, like just getting hurt into.
I definitely considered it when I was making my bet.
I don't know. I'm over the Raiders. They barely skated by a Broncos team that we didn't know was this bad week 1. They absolutely shit themselves at home against the Steelers. Like I'm over them. They're in my graveyard.
Let's move past it quick just to hit everything really fast before we get to baseball. Cristobal should be fired immediately.
Oh, that was.
I'm not even kidding. I would fire you. And that's the stupidest thing in the entire world. Miami, yes, I know his elbow was down, but he shouldn't have even been in that situation. And the funniest thing that I saw this weekend is that no matter what Miami this year, even if they've been up 20, whatever, they have not kneeled the ball once. This entire year, he's never kneeled it. He always gives the running back the ball. Why are you giving the running back the ball? The game is over. It's over.
And actually, on the College Bowl show, we have like a hot take segment with Pizza Hut, and my hot take was that Georgia Tech was going to put a scare into them.
Yeah, and they did.
I was watching the ending live. It was like even though I watched TV as a Georgia Tech better, where it was like they were catching like 21. It didn't matter with a minute left.
Yeah.
But I just was sitting there. I was like, is he crazy?
Crazy.
I was like, there are 37 seconds left. It's 3rd and 10. They have no timeouts. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, what is he doing?
It was one of the
Why
worst.
would he? And even it was Jesse Palmer. I forget who else on the broadcast. They were even in real time. Like, is he nuts? Like, why is he doing this? Like, what is the point? Kneel the ball and get out of here with a win. You're undefeated. They had a huge game against North Carolina next week where the winner of that would be in like a really good spot.
Yep.
It'd basically be like with them and Florida State potentially like win the ACC. We're talking like a playoff, like a legit shot at a playoff.
I know.
He threw their whole season away. Whole season.
He's arrogant.
Miami's a good football team. We haven't found out how good they were yet. But this was the first even egg they laid. Like they blew A&M. They had blown out every team they played. I think covered every spread. I think until this one.
He played like when you're playing
unfathomable.
when you're playing against your friend in Madden, and it's like, don't be a pussy, don't kneel.
Literally, it was like I couldn't believe the arrogance and the stupidity of a coach at that level.
Yeah.
The team that's undefeated, like top 15, like ready to make a real push.
Listen, tomorrow we're going to get into more of college football. We have to go through the NFL. I wish we had more time today, but there's so much going on at the office that Barstool will be in here soon. Really quick. It was really cute that the Orioles, like, everyone thought they had any chance in the playoffs.
Adorable.
Like, it was really, good for you. You won 100 games.
Shut the
What?
fuck
Good
up.
job, buddies.
No,
Orioles.
you don't understand.
What's
They
going on.
talk so much shit this year. So much
Good job, Orioles.
So
You
much
almost
shit.
They could talk shit to you guys. They
No,
They won 100 games.
You haven't been relevant
congrats.
in years. Good for you,
Congrats those 100
guys.
wins, because guess what? Didn't mean a fucking thing.
Yeah, Orioles. Joke.
Right,
Don't
and
mean
then
nothing.
this will be clipped. This will be clipped.
It will.
Series ain't over.
Oh, you think they're gonna come
I
back?
don't know, Smitty.
Get out of here.
They're going to
Clip it.
Texas.
Clip it.
Yeah, clip it. I don't give a fuck.
tough.
Good job, Orioles. You made the playoffs. Woohoo!
Congrats,
Twice at
Clemmer.
home.
Gain first, you're last. Remember that.
What's that? Congrats to me.
Twins good win
me.
yesterday.
Yeah.
What did I
Congrats
do?
to Clemmer. He was right.
About what?
Right.
Twins.
Hey, you know.
Hey.
I tried to warn you guys. You guys say, "Oh no, they're the Astros. They wear a shirt that says Astros."
1-1.
They played in the playoffs, so you guys made it sound like they had Twins had no chance at all. But
Still don't think they have a chance.
no, they have a chance. I'm not. I think the Astros. I don't know. Right now, it's tough. I don't know. I think the Astros probably still win the series.
You
but
did.
We'll see.
I'm not. You did pick every favorite to win these series. I'm not.
I did. No, I absolutely did because I thought they all were
I
the
bet
best
both
team. They all
dogs in
were
baseball
rested.
tonight.
I am betting both dogs
Zach
tonight
Gallen
too.
One of them's got to win.
I'm in the.
For
We're doing the
anybody,
same thing, Ev.
For anybody thinking about Phillies plus 145, yes, it's obviously a must-win for the Braves. Look up Zach Wheeler's stats against the Braves this year, especially or in the postseason.
Oh, look at Max Fried though.
Well, yeah, look up the Phillies' fucking stats against Max Fried.
I'm betting on the Phillies.
Ray Turner's batting 400 against Max Fried. You fucking corpse!
You weird blockheaded guy. We're
Oh, yeah! You're coming back. You're coming back.
Betting on the
Castellanos, 8 hits and like 16 at-bats against Max Fried.
Be 500.
Dead.
It's good.
Hey, that's a show. We're gonna have a lot tomorrow. A lot more. We'll go football.
We'll bring a lot of college football.
Yeah, we'll try to do it with
Baseball.
too much today, but appreciate everybody, and that show Barstool Radio is up.